good morning to you. If you don't know who I am, no big deal. My name is Martha Krejci. I'm a business growth expert. What I'm here to do, what my family is here to do, what my friends, what my HBR folks are here to do is to change the world. We're going to change the world by ending poverty. The way that we do that, you guys, is that we teach families how to be able to grow high profit margin businesses from home. Yes, you heard me right. High profit margin businesses from home. Typically, businesses have about 10 to 15% profit margins. We blow it out of the water with 85 to 95% profit margins. We should be able to make the money so then we can feel comfortable, so then we can help the other people in the world, so on and so forth. And that is how this happens, okay? There you go. So, anywho, that's me. That's who I am. That's what I'm about. Let me see what we got going on here. First things first. If you're watching on the YouTube, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. If you are watching somewhere else, go to YouTube after this video, click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on because of this. Because we give things away. Bing, 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 right? One person every single week has to be subscribed to YouTube and comment on YouTube videos. Subscribe to YouTube, comment on what? YouTube videos, right? One person every single week is going to win something from us. And the stakes are getting high on this. Is going to be good. This week's winner is Michelle Dickerson. Everybody give Michelle a hand. Oh, I just burped right on the video. Oh, I was like, maybe if I keep talking, it won't happen. Nope, totally happens, just so you guys know. Michelle Dickerson. Oh, my word, you guys. Happy Tuesday. Anywho, so let me say hi to some of you guys. Actually, let me talk about a premiere really quick. Premiere. I'm just going to keep laughing. The premiere this week, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be on there with you in the comments, typing along. 3 mistakes I made in business that could have cost me. 3 mistakes that I made in business that could have cost me. Okay, you guys? It's going to be a really good one. So I'll be there for your questions and also just to goof off with you. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description of this video. All right? All right, let me say hi to some of you guys. Hey, Megan. Katie Lynn, good morning. Carrie, good morning from warmer Wisconsin. Woo-wee. Christiana, good morning. Amanda Moss, good morning, friend. Nicole, hey, friend. Hey there. Devery, hello. Beth Rose, good morning and thank you. Aw, shucks. Sherry, hello. Lorna, good morning from the West Coast. West Coast. Michelle, hello. Miss Martha, you won, Michelle. Rachel, good morning. Tracy, hey, Martha, happy Tuesday. Martina, hey, Martha, good morning. Hey, Martha, listening on my walk. Awesome. Cindy, morning, beautiful. Morning to you. Sherry, I finally caught alive. Whoop, whoop. Melanie, good morning. Good, beautiful spring morning from Iowa. Oh, I love that. I love that. Cool. Well, I am going to go ahead. I love how real you are. I'll just tell you. It makes no sense to not just be real about what just happened, right? Oh, we have to exchange P.O. boxes. Heck yes. Boom. All right. So, message or email hello@marthaekrejci.com. hello@marthaekrejci.com. Do that, Michelle. Send me your P.O. box. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our topic today. It is, are you limiting yourself? I want to get specific about a specific limitation, okay? So I am in the trenches of finishing up Big Think Revolution. First of all, I was on a call with Danelle this morning about Big Think Revolution and the fact that we're going to be creating, like I was crying. We're going to be creating Big Think kids, Big Think teens, Big Think family, Big Think women. This might be one of the most impactful things we've ever done. HBR to date has been the most impactful thing that we have ever done, because we're literally bringing families back together again. We're showing them how to make income from home and have opportunities arise for them again, right? That to date is the most impactful thing. But as I'm writing out and implementing, creating Big Think Revolution, what I realize is what this does is essentially it butters up our wrists to let the chains just fall off. That was how I described it in another way to Danelle this morning. And I was like, Big Think Kids is basically going to butter up the kids' wrists so the chains never can't even get on. This is massive. This isn't just a book. This isn't anything. This isn't anything like that. This is everything. Once we can get our minds into a good place, I'm going to get into something here in a second. Once we get our minds into a good place and we can monitor and regulate the thoughts that are happening with ourselves in a way that isn't berating ourselves, because that's not sustainable, in a way that's very simple and I'm going to say easy to do. Because I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do things. Because as I was talking to Danelle this morning, I was like, Danelle, this is so massively huge. And we're both head to toe goosebumps. I'm walking in Florida. I should not have goosebumps. Okay. But I was like, this is so massively huge, because I'm not saying, hey, go read this 600-page book. Hey, go read this 400-page book and then a volume of this and a volume of that, and then figure out how it applies to your life. What I'm doing is I'm saying, I've been doing this for 15 to 20 years. I've applied it in my own life. I've made it work. Now let me act like I'm sitting across a dining room table from you and just tell you how to do it. And give you the whys and the hows and all of that. But let me give you the simple application that I've done myself in a very Martha-like way. In a very do this, do that, girl is like this, right? Way that isn't hard to understand, that isn't going to make you sort of like fog over as you're listening to old English. It's just like, here's the basics. Here's it. This is how you actually make it work. We're not going to flower it up. We're not going to do anything else. I'm going to give you the exact details. And all of a sudden, no chains will ever be able to even hang out on your wrists anymore. You outgrow them. Nobody can chain me down at this point. No one. And that's because I know who I am. And because I make my choices, right? And so will you. That's what I'm going to show you how to do. And then what you do with that is totally up to you. Do you want to have a business? Cool, I can help you with that too. Do you want to do something else? Awesome. But you're going to do it from a space of knowing precisely who you are, whose you are, and what you're capable of, which is anything. Okay, you guys? I need you to know that. All right. It comes out on Friday, by the way. If you're not in it yet, you need to be in it. If you want to message me, you can message me for the link. You can search my groups for the link. Somebody could put the link in here, whatever you want to do. All right, so are you limiting yourself? Here's the thing. Here's a big way that people limit themselves. Big, big way. And I want you to tell me, as I'm talking about it, I want you to tell me if it's you. A way that a lot of people limit themselves is they say, if they underperform, okay, first of all, what does underperforming mean? Underperforming is simply that you meant to get this goal, you meant to do this thing, and then you underperformed. You did not get that thing, okay? You did not reach that goal that time, okay? Which happens a lot in the beginning and even in the middle and dare I say the end. It's going to happen a lot because you're going to keep creating bigger and bigger goals. Big goals aren't easy to hit. That's the whole point, right? That's why I create 3 sets of goals, but we'll go through that in Big Think. Anyway, whenever you underperform on something, what I'm asking you right now is, what do you say to yourself? So if you meant to, let's just make it a money thing because it makes it very like concrete. Maybe you meant to make $200 last week on your thing that you made, right? If it's a course or whatever. Maybe your goal was to make $200 last week. If you don't even have a goal, we need to talk, okay? But if you had a goal and you didn't make it, what do you say to yourself? Like, this is a time for us to be very honest with ourselves and not to say what other people, and you don't even have to put it in the comments. It's, what do you say to yourself in the quiet places when you're sitting by yourself and you think, okay, I only made $100 last week instead of $200. Is it, I'm a failure? Is it, I can't believe I didn't do it again? Is it, I'll never be able to do this? Is it, who do I think I am? What's the stuff that you say to yourself when you underperform? If it's things like that, like what I just said, which is most people, don't feel bad if that's you. That's most people. What that is programming. It's what you have been programmed to think until today. Okay? It's what you people don't like the word society. It's what the grand narrative, I'm going to say that, wants us to believe about ourselves, right? It's your ego talking to you and saying you didn't hit that thing, you didn't do it, you can't do it. Your ego isn't typically going to push you in a good direction. Just a heads up. Okay. Ego edging God out, right? Your ego isn't usually going to push you in a good place. It's usually the ultimate liar, in my opinion. Okay? We know where that comes from, don't we? So, if you thought something like, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work for me, I can't do this, all of those things, my challenge to you is this, because that's limiting. That's extremely limiting. What you're doing is you are reinforcing a message in your brain. Your brain doesn't know what's real and what's not, okay? It knows language. It knows emotion and it knows feeling. That's what it knows. It knows what you identify with. There it is. It knows what you identify with. Your brain only knows what you identify as. That's reality for your brain. Okay. That's a huge thing. If you guys didn't just catch that, somebody rewind, okay? Your brain only knows what you identify as your reality. Okay? So, if you're saying to yourself, I can't do this, who do I think that I am? I'm not X, Y, and Z. Your brain will identify, you're identifying yourself as that. Your brain will call that reality. Your subconscious will make it so. Your conscious is going to say, okay, that's what I am. Your subconscious will say, okay, if that's what you are, make it so. Remember what I talked about with our brains. Our brains are tools that God gave us. We didn't just accidentally come here with brains, guys. We didn't accidentally come here with something that can be programmed by our own words, and there's another part of our mind that then makes it so. We did not come here with that tool on accident. We've lost the use of that tool 100%. We need to regain use of that tool if we plan on making a change in this world. That's what Big Think is. If you're ready to regain access to this tool that you've forgotten how to use properly, that you've forgotten how to use to its highest and best use, Big Think. That's where we're going to be changing things. Okay, you guys? We create things. We're supposed to. That's what we're here for. We're not here to wander around. We're here to make some change happen. That's why you're here right now, sitting where you're sitting. If you're walking, if you're whatever you're doing, you're here for a specific purpose. Isn't that exciting? Doesn't it feel good to know there's more? We just have to remember, gain access to this thing. That's what Big Think is. Regain access to this and create the things we mean to create. You guys, Mike and I look at each other these days and we're like, what in the world is going on? We've created it. Not by ourselves. God in us has created it. So don't get it twisted. Don't say like Martha's saying she's making stuff. I think that's assumed. If you guys are following me, it should be assumed. That's what we're doing, guys. Okay? So my challenge to you is this. My challenge to you is if you underperform, when you underperform, it happens. It happens all the time. It happens to me all the time. Because I got big goals. If/when you underperform, my suggestion to you is to turn that failure into an affirming statement. So instead of, man, this isn't working for me, or I can't do this, you take out the good that happened in it, you pull it out, you look at it, and you say, that wasn't really me. Like for the negative stuff, I wasn't really showing up the way I can. That wasn't really me. Next time I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You're focusing on next time. You're focusing on the good. You're focusing on growth. If you focus on the other, you get the other. This is another thing people just don't really understand. They're like, oh man, I feel so bad about what I've done. This becomes their story. We all know these people. They've got a story. And their story is what keeps them, well, it's their identity. They identify with the story. But the story also gets them coddling, and it gets them like, oh, I feel so bad for you, and all of that stuff that they need that. They want that. That's what makes them feel good. At the end of the day, everybody just wants to feel good. Okay? What's the thing that makes you feel good? At the end of the day, everybody just wants to feel good. So that makes them feel good. What they don't realize is they could feel so much better. And so they're just taking what they can get because it's familiar. They don't realize they could feel so much better. And that's where we need to unlock all of this, you guys. That's why I'm talking about this stuff, is because we need to unlock all of this. Everyone's mind needs to just, because that's how we change things. When people's minds just go, right? That's what I'm after. I'm after that moment that you're like, and you can never think the same after that. Never. Okay, what do you guys think? And again, if you want the link to Big Think, it is, if somebody else has a link, put it in the comments. If not, just message me on my Facebook business page, Livin the Dream with Martha. By Christiana, regarding the story, just listen to C.S. Lewis, The Great Divorce. And the story is relating to this story. I do recommend. I love C.S. Lewis. Melanie, affirm the lesson learned and set a new dynamite approach. TNT, the next time, so you engage the reticular activating system, yep, in the brain, to bring that info into your conscious awareness. 100% yes. Yes. Oh, and y'all got goosebumps. Good. Sherry, you're reading Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill is one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. He's the granddaddy. He's the granddaddy of unlocking a lot of this stuff. Napoleon Hill is fantastic. I think I've read everything of his at least twice. I love that he doesn't lose sight of the fact that it's all about God. I like that he never lost sight of that. There are other people that kind of regurgitated his content and then lost sight of that. And I think there's an irresponsibility in that. Whenever we lose sight of our creator in all of this, it becomes a pretty irresponsible message, because then we make ourselves the gods. Joe, I used to identify as someone who was sick and destined to be sick, but it didn't sit well with me. And I kept wondering if there was something more in store for me. Oh, I love it. Is it an HBR? Big Think isn't an HBR. It's another, I mean, we have AFT and stuff like that in HBR. Big Think is separate. It's something completely different that's going to blow up. It's alongside. Because not everybody that's going to be in Big Think is also going to want HBR, because Big Think is more mentality. Now, if they also want to get an HBR, they're more than welcome to, but not everybody that wants to fix their mind also wants to start a business. So I had to keep them like that. So just so you guys understand. Carrie, Big Think is another. Yep. Let me see what else is going on. Sherry, so I pray to be a Moses like Martha. Boom. Mary, thank you for your constant reminders that we can do more than clock in and clock out every day. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Heather, OMG totally makes sense, especially with parenting too. You are being naughty versus you are such a kind person. I think this all started when we were young. I was always told I was shy, no more. Oh, I love it. I love it. That there is a lot that happens when we're kids. And so Big Think Kids is going to be about, because we have a 6-year-old. And so I'm going to say there's going to be a parent's guide in the first part of it, but then I'm going to be talking to a little 6-year-old. This is freaking God's work, you guys. This is like an unlocking of people's potential so early on. The things that we say to Nora are, you are so kind. You are so easy to love. You're such a good friend. You're such a smart girl, right? This is so easy for you. And she's got no limitations, you guys. None. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then to be able to do it for teens and families and women specifically, about how we treat our relationships, with our kids. Like, it's all going to be, I'm going to set myself into the teens. I'm going to talk to the teens like I need to talk to the teens. I'm going to talk to the kids like I need to talk to the kids. I'm going to talk to the families like we need to talk to the families. It's all going to be application based. All right, you guys, I'm going to pop out of here. You guys have the best day. I love you so much. Bye-bye.